Hi, welcome to my channel. I just wanted to share with you guys a quick everyday makeup. It's a no fuss makeup for somebody that's really busy in the morning, or just somebody that just doesn't want to take a whole lot of time in the morning to do their makeup. And I do everything with the contents of this little bag. Tools and products are all in here. I'm 38 years old. I don't have a whole lot of time in the morning, and sometimes I just want to look fresh, put together, evened out, and this is my go-to. So if you want to see how I did this and my tips and tricks, just keep watching. All right, here we go. So like I said, this is my everyday face. This is for, you know, when I have a solid 10 minutes to do makeup. I just dropped a cap because I'm nervous. And what I do is I take a pump of foundation, and it's any foundation that you like that works for your skin type. You're like, what is she doing it? What is she doing? I take one pump of foundation and I spread it all over my face, like really spread it. Because all I am trying to achieve is to even out my complexion. I am not trying to do full coverage. If I'm looking over here, it's because I have a mirror. I am not trying to achieve a completely blank canvas. I am just trying to even out my face. And if you notice, I don't take it on my under eyes or my eyelids, because I will use concealer for that. I use concealer for that, and I have noticed that the older I've gotten, the less amount I want to, like, I don't want to layer any products under my eyes. So what I do is, that's one pump of foundation. And I know my face is darker than my body, so it's a constant match, especially now as we go into the spring. I take my concealer. This is the Armani Power Fabric, but again, any concealer that you have works. And I just go under my eyes. And when you see it like that, you're like, wow, that's a stark contrast. That's going to be way too light. But just watch it blend out, because I have a lot of discoloration on my eyelids. They're really dark and puffy. I also have a toddler, which means that I'm always tired. So what ends up happening is this makes the biggest difference in my under eyes. Does it cover everything 100%? No. But it covers what I want it to cover, and it brightens. The Maybelline Age Rewind is really good if you prefer drugstore. So I'm going to try to do that. Any product I talk about, I'll see if I can figure out a dupe for the drugstore one. So the foundation I used was the Fenty one, but you can also use the L'Oreal Pro Glow is a really good one. I know they discontinued the Physicians Formula. So now I'm going to go in with powder, because I need to set that. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess all over my face. I use a loose powder. You don't have to use a loose powder. I use a little brush, and I really tap off everything I can, and I dab it on my under eyes. I do not swipe on my under eyes, because I feel that that emphasizes all of my fine lines and wrinkles, and it's a lot. So I dab, and then I go ahead and I swipe it over my eyelids. Then I take a bigger brush and I dip into that same powder. You can use a pressed powder. In fact, I prefer using a pressed powder. But for now, I really want to use my loose powders. So I won't be buying any more pressed powders until these are gone, because what happens is they're easier to use. So I just grab one of those instead. So I'm trying to use these up. And this is the Hourglass. I hear that the Maybelline Fit Me powder is really beautiful. So then now that that's evened out, I'm happy with that. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to go in with the big fluffy brush and any shimmery bronzer that you have. because this is gonna serve as bronzer, but it's also going to highlight. Bring this way down. Also going to serve as highlight on your face. And if people are looking at me going, wow, you are really rough with your face. I know, I'm sorry. The other thing is I am very heavy-handed with blush and highlight. That's just what I like. So once I'm done with that, I will go in with an eyeshadow brush and I just go in there. And I just hit my crease to give, oh, there it is, sorry, to give my eye some definition. And if it doesn't look super blended out, powder brush. Your powder brush is your friend. I take this tiny little brush and I go under my eyes. I feel like this, no matter what happens or what I do under my eyes, it always creases. I have wrinkles. That's just how it's gonna go. I'm 38 years old, but this really helps. I'm bronzed and highlighted. Then I go in with the shimmery blush. Now I go in with, this is Benefit Gold Rush, but Milani Luminoso is really beautiful and it is drugstore. And for the bronzer, the L'Oreal Lumi bronzer is really beautiful and shimmery. And I actually already went through one of those. So that's my cheeks, that's my complexion. Now what I like to do is I do my brows. For this, I do use a drugstore product. And I don't like very heavily structured eyebrows on the regular. I do have my, you know, I have quite a bit of my own eyebrow hairs. They're just kind of messy. So what I like to do for every day is I just go in with the tinted brow gel. Every brand has their own tinted brow gel and people, you know, have different needs. If you need a pencil or a pomade, I totally get it. I just don't. Then I just brush it through because all I really want is my brows to look a little bit darker and brushed out. That's all I want for brows. I know this one looks darker, but in real life it doesn't look that way. Got a little more. I like to start off with a little bit because you can always add, but it's really hard if you start off with a lot and then try and take away. Okay, there it is. Now we're here. Brows are done. Oh, I do spray my face, so I do take any. This is a setting spray. This is the L'Oreal Infallible. There you go. We let that dry for a sec. I'm gonna do my lips. I like to do a glossy color with like a glossy lipstick because you get color. Oh, and I did have some, what's it called? Lip balm. And this is the YSL Rouge, the plumping one in 87, but everybody makes these. So I do take my little brush one more time and I pat out my eyes in case anything has creased. I take my big powder brush without any excess product and I dab it in my T-zone just to make sure that that part is gonna stay a little bit more matte than the rest of my face. And now we can eyelash. So like I was saying, L'Oreal, Maybelline, and CoverGirl all make these glossy lipsticks. So I just like the YSL ones. Those are the ones I have. Here we go. I kind of like all mascaras. This one is one of my favorites. It's the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extension. And I like this one because it's a tubing one. And you know, I go through phases where sometimes my eyelashes look really full and beautiful and sometimes they don't. And I deal with what I have. It's a tubing one, so it doesn't smear, it doesn't come off. What you cannot do with this mascara is let it dry for a few minutes and then come back to it, because that just clumps them up. So what this doesn't do is it doesn't smear, it doesn't flake, and at night when I wash my face, it literally just comes off in little tubes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my full face. So this is the finished look. It's nothing revolutionary, it's nothing amazing, but it is my everyday look. My hair is gonna get poofier as it dries because it's wet. I just wanted even skin. I wanted to look fresh, put together, and this is what I do when I have 7 to 10 minutes to do my makeup in the morning. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time.